people who are in charge of driving the car, and AI is the vehicle.
It is, and not the thing.
And not the thing.
It's not the thing.
That's right.
It's not the thing. It's the support.
Yes. There's an amazing Steve Jobs quote about like computers being the bicycle for the mind. I like to think about AI as the electric bicycle or the supercar for the mind.
Yes.
You still have to be in charge of it.
You got to pedal it. You got to pedal.
Yes.
No, that's beautiful. I've not heard that one. We are provider data experts, and I think that's the first important piece of the puzzle, right? We understand all of the systems. We understand all the pieces, we understand the flows, and we understand the importance of all of those pieces fitting together. And so we just recently worked with a customer where by purely fixing provider data, right, making sure those records are complete and up to date, and the governance process surrounding that is intact and being utilized, we were able to reduce claims denials by 98%.
Which is an incredible number.
Who wants a claims denial?
Right.
Nobody wants a claims denial.
Right.
And that was possible through a very small team of focused experts saying, hey, there's a gap here, there's an issue here, there's redundancy there, this is totally missing. And we can just in a couple short months with a very small team make huge impact. It doesn't have to be scary, it doesn't have to be huge. But I was having a conversation earlier today with the plan, and they had asked me, what is the biggest challenge with doing these projects, right? The number one problem that we see with success, and really the single point of failure, is in a lack of ownership from the C-level. The C-level has to look at this as a organizational project because provider data management, and it could look different in different organizations. Credentialing could be separate from provider directory, and contracting is separate from network, and and then there's claims, and sometimes it sits under finance. And so making sure that all of those teams recognize that they win, everybody wins in these. And so if we can just play nice in the sandbox and we can just like focus down on this initiative, everybody is going to see value. And at the end of the day, the member's going to get what they need.
Right.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Because how often does the denials just like paper cut? Just all the time.
All of it.
All the time.
All of it. It's denials, but it's also prior authorization before you can even get the procedure. It's even knowing that the doctor's taking your insurance when you're trying to make an appointment. It's, all of these pieces. Again, it's provider data is at the center of all health plan operations. And
so solving this makes literally everybody's lives better from an organization standpoint, from the actual provider looking at the patient from the patient's perspective too. Like I know if I'm going to be approved for this, I'm going to go in, I'm going to fast overnight for this procedure, and I know that I'm going to get it.
Yeah. But and that's also from the provider perspective. If the provider moves their office building, they have to now tell 26 different health plans that they moved.
Yes.
In 26 different ways. And that's really burdensome. The provider's there to deliver patient care.
Yes.
Not tell 26 different, entities in 26 different ways that my office is now in suite A instead of suite B.
Right.
And then they still get it wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then even from the doctor's office, they're going to try to hire someone to take care of that. That's another person on your payroll, another person that you have to manage. That's and from the business side, that's an overhead burden.
It is an overhead burden, and it's removing the purpose of what we're all here for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's care.
Yes.
In the opening session, actually, today, he says we need to get care back in healthcare.
Yes.
Well, it's hard to do that when you have all of this unnecessary administrative burden.
Yes.
But if we can fix these things, we can get back to the care and healthcare. And I think we're missing that.
Yes.
We're missing that.
And a key part of all of this is how the technology interacts with the innovation. Because you're special. You have a team of technologists who understand the underlying architecture, how the data sources pull together and pull apart, and where do they go, right? my opinion is that so far, because there's been so much development in technology, it has become a blocker. But technology is also the answer to solving this, because technology is now in such a place where it can be a facilitator of innovation.
It can,
and we have to let it be the facilitator.
We have to, which is also where I think organizations get in trouble is in implementation.
Yes,
and that's another thing that we help organizations with. You know, they'll purchase a tool. It could be a PDM tool, it could be a claim system, it could be any of these. I mean, now we have tools upon tools. But they can't implement it correctly. They can't integrate it into the system. So aside from just like process optimization, which is one piece, you have to make sure, even before you purchase it, that the system is going to interact correctly with all of your other systems. And I think that's another place where, you know, organizations get it wrong. They're trying to fast track. An organization has a really good marketing strategy and the tool looks really nice. And then they get into implementation and realize, oh my gosh, I have to completely transform my data from this system to get it now into
where I need it to be. Yes. And I think what's amazing about you guys is you focused on standardization. Standardization is the way to get beyond this. So you have clean data. So you're getting over all of these paper cuts, and you are setting yourself on a path where the road is clear.
Yeah. Which is where I think that the industry could do better working together. I mean, there are a lot of organizations that are trying, we have a lot of standards in healthcare.
Yes.
We don't necessarily lack standards. We have an adoption problem to standards in healthcare. And so I think we need to get over that. But I also think that we need to remember, even when it comes to, a conversation at Vive, I think last year, the year before, was around who owns the data.
Yes.
Who owns the data? Is it the provider own the data? Does the health plan own the data? Does the patient own the data? Who owns the data? Well, if we all need it, is ownership the right conversation? Is that the right conversation to have? When it comes to privacy, yes, we need to have those conversations. I want to make sure I own my data, but I need the health plan to have access to it. I need my providers to have access to it, and we all need to share it together in some capacity, right? So that the system works effectively. And I think it's another place where we kind of miss the mark because everybody's too busy arguing over, who owns it.
And we don't always share the same definition of data.
We don't even have the right terminology, okay? We can't even get the words right.
Yeah, because I feel like you and I could go down a whole nother rabbit hole, because if you've worked with the VA, you've probably dealt with IP or data rights.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have too. And as a non-traditional defense contractor, and a software company in the government, we have put a lot of effort around our data rights because we want to clearly communicate to customers, your data is your data. We are just the pipelines that your data is. We own the framework. We own our methodology. How we stitch together all of this very nice security and engineering for you is ours. But at the end of the day, your app is yours.
Yeah. Which, it's so interesting on, the government side. I entered government 4 years ago, so I am by no means an expert of government.
You're at a very interesting
I'm still
time.
a baby.
It's such an interesting time.
It's a very interesting time.
Yes.
The VA has changed tremendously just in the last, 18 months. But what's so interesting to me, or what I learned, entering this space, is that when let's just say the VA commissions, that's not the right word, but when they procure, a custom solution vendor as ourselves, that IP is of the country, really, right? It's of the taxpayers.
Yes.
And so I think that's also something that most people don't understand. And so it can be utilized. And why aren't, even within our own government, why aren't we utilizing the investments that the taxpayers are making to say, guess what? You have a text messaging system over here. DOD, we can use it too, but we don't even make those connections, even within our own system.
I love that you're saying that. Congress is starting starting to address that.
I know.
And it's very, very baby steps. It's basically if a civil servant at one agency develops a really great tool, another civil servant at another agency can use it, which I think is amazing.
Yes.
And You and I could go about data rights all day. I really could, because it's so interesting, so nuanced. We're businesses. We need to own things.
Yes.
Because that protects us.
Yes.
And it protects our employees and everybody that we hope to serve with our companies. But then clearly communicating, what customer do you get when I deliver you this beautiful thing?
Yeah.
That's a conversation that we should have, and people shouldn't be afraid of having it.
We should, but that again gets back to this base understanding of what are we all here for?
Yes.
And I think there are some organizations, I mean, DocMe 360, we pride ourselves in being the type of organization, we're a connector.
Yes.
You know, we love to connect people and organizations with one another.
Yes.
It's not all about what is in it for us, because we believe we are here to serve, and we have our spot. You know, there are things that we're good at, and I think that a lot of companies, you know, in the competitiveness of it, you know, can kind of miss the mark there. But it's really important that we understand, just as, you know, humanity, that we're all here to do good.
Yes.
And if we can work together a little more, we're going to do more good.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It requires a level of honesty that, you know, isn't commonplace in business, but I think we're getting there.
We're getting there.
I think we're getting there.
And I love that you said that, right? And referenced the opening panel this morning about healthcare being about care and being about the patient.
It is.
Yeah, because that really is the center of everything.
That is the center of everything.
Yes.
That's the center of everything outside of healthcare too.
Yes.
Care is the most important. We have to care for ourselves. We have to care for one another.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's such a great place to be that we're having these conversations, because I do really feel like we're in like a major shift right now. I mean, the government has obviously changed the way that we are speaking about, you know, contracts and, you know, all of these things. The conversations are changing, and I think in a really positive way. And I see it in healthcare, you know, on the private sector side of our business as well. But I think we're in a really good time right now. I mean, it's a little chaotic and a little uncertain.
Yes.
But I'm feeling hopeful about, you know, where we're going to be in the next 12 months.
I don't know how to end any better than that, because I feel like that's the most beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you.
What are you so excited about for in technology?
You know, I am. Well, that's a really tough question, because I feel like everybody wants to talk about, you know, how AI is going to do all the things.
You know, it's so tangible.
Right.
Yes.
I think the thing that is more interesting to me about the conversation in AI is the balance that we're going to strike, right? Because I think those people that are outside of the technology field have a lot of fear over AI is going to take over the world. I mean, my daughters were like, you know, the robots. We're going to have robots, like, you know, running around pretty soon. And I'm like,
sorry, Hal, I can't do that.
And I'm like, okay, slow down.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But I think what we're going to find, like, we're in this thing right now where AI is everything, and people are, you know, investing a lot of money and scrapping a lot of things.
Yes.
I think where we're going to end up is a really beautiful balance of technology and human interactions that used to exist when technology was first introduced, right? When technology first entered the scene, it really was about how it can help us be more efficient, and it was with the human. Right now, everybody fears, and so there's a lot of resistance. I think we're going to fail a couple of times, but we're going to end up in a really beautiful place where AI really is a source of support. It's not a replacement. But we have to be really careful. You know, I have little kids, and so from like an education standpoint, making sure that as we're raising up the next generation in this world of like AI, that we remind them how AI is not useful without critical thinking. And so we can't rely solely. And so I think that's also really exciting from a technology space right now, because I think how we see the next generation of technologists coming is going to blow our mind in a way that we're probably not even expecting just yet.
Like, we need to raise great analysts, people who are in charge of driving the car, and AI is the vehicle.
It is, and not the thing.
And not the thing.
It's not the thing.
That's right.
It's not the thing. It's the support.
Yes. There's an amazing Steve Jobs quote about like computers being the bicycle for the mind. I like to think about AI as electric bicycle or
Yes.
the supercar for the mind.
Yes.
You still have to be in charge
You
of
gotta
the
pedal it. You gotta pedal.
Yes. Yes.
No, that's beautiful. I've not heard that one.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
There
are a couple singers from Steve Jobs.
Loves Steve Jobs,
Yes.
and so he's a huge Apple,
Yes.
an Apple guy. So
Yes.
I probably should have heard that one by now.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'll
okay.
take that back.
Yeah. My other favorite one is a little known one, which is Real Artistship, which is basically go do the thing.
Do the thing.
Go do the thing.
Go do it.
Yes.
You got to try it out.
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was great.
It was so great talking to you.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you for coming on
Absolutely.
and chatting with me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.